We're going to begin tonight with the deadliest 24 hours in the conflict between Israel and Hamas militants and the growing calls for the U.S. to intervene in what many fear is rapidly becoming a humanitarian crisis. As we come on the air, Israeli warplanes continue to pound Gaza, destroying the network of underground tunnels used by Hamas, reducing entire buildings to rubble and killing more than 200. Now, Hamas is not letting up its assault either, bombarding Israeli cities with rockets as sirens sound and residents run for cover. With the death toll on both sides mounting and many Palestinians in Gaza now without clean water or fuel, the White House says it is engaging in, quote, quiet, intensive diplomacy. But tonight, members of the president's own party say those efforts need to be much louder and are calling for the U.S. to help broker a peace. Mr. Biden has just spoken to the Israeli prime minister. And CBS's Ed O'Keefe will have more on that new information from the White House in just a moment. But first, CBS's Imtiaz Tyab is going to lead off our coverage on the ground in Tel Aviv. Good evening, Imtiaz.
Nora, good evening. We're entering week 2 of this crisis, and people inside Gaza have been telling us that Israel's bombings are unlike anything they've ever seen before, and neither side are showing any sign of letting up from their attacks.
Israel says it's being surgical in its strikes, but driving through the Palestinian territory, and it looks anything but. Major infrastructure and homes reduced to rubble in an instant. As the increasingly bloody conflict with Hamas moves into its second week, the death toll keeps rising. At least 200 Palestinians have been killed, including more than 60 children. In the southern Israeli town of Ashdod, this house took a direct hit from a Hamas rocket. This man says, it can't continue like this. We want to attack Gaza so that they are left without weapons to launch at us. Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system has intercepted the vast majority of the over 3,000 rockets fired by Hamas, but not all. Since fighting began, 10 Israelis, including 2 children, have been killed. The spark that lit the inferno that is this latest war in Gaza was here, in bitterly contested East Jerusalem, where the looming evictions of Palestinian families continues to provoke fury. Fury which erupted again over the weekend during what Palestinians call Nakba, or Catastrophe Day protests, marking the loss of Palestinian territory in 1948 for the creation of Israel. The looming evictions of 8 Palestinian families by Jewish settlers has only inflamed tensions. Jad Hamid faces expulsion from the house his family has lived in since the 1950s.
This is not the first time and not the second time. It's going to be the third time for us.
Tonight, Hamas is vowing to rain fire here on Tel Aviv unless Israel ends its bombing campaign in Gaza. Nora.
Imtiaz Tyab, thank you.